TAG TV US Canada brings you news and views from White House and State Department's press briefings.
As we meet today, the people of Venezuela stand at the threshold of history, ready to reclaim their country and to reclaim their future. The people of Venezuela are standing for freedom and democracy, and the United States of America is standing right by their side. Socialism promises a better future, but it always returns to the darkest chapters of the past. So today I ask every member of the Maduro regime, set your country free. Now is the time for all Venezuelan patriots to act together as one united people. We know what freedom can do in Venezuela because we have seen that future right here. We are born free and we will stay free now and forever. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, and it's great to be with the Chancellor of Austria. We have a tremendous relationship, long-term, with Austria, and we're going to be discussing numerous things, immigration today, but we're also discussing trade. We have a very big trade presence and a very good relationship on trade. Do a lot of business with each other, and Chancellor, it's very nice to have you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President, for receiving us here in the US and the White House. It's a pleasure for my delegation and for me to be here. Austria, as you probably know, is compared to the US a very small country, but we are a beautiful country.
It's true.
We are an economically quite strong country. You would probably say a great country. We are in the heart of the European Union, an active member state of the European Union. As a small country, we need international cooperation, and therefore I hope that we can discuss now our bilateral relations, but also the relations between the European Union and the United States of America. Of course, trade and how we can gain economic growth for the US, but also for Europe, and probably international issues like Middle East, Korea,
Right.
and probably also Russia. Thank you for receiving us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, are you going to impose auto tariffs on the Europeans?
Well, it's something we certainly think about. We're trying to make a deal. They're very tough to make a deal with the EU. They've been very difficult over a period of time, over many, many years. And so it's something we think about, and we're negotiating with them. If we don't make the deal, we'll do the tariffs.
The new report hasn't changed your mind about it at all? There's a new report from the Commerce Department?
The new report is not that kind of a report. It's just really a study that's underway. We've studied it very carefully. We've seen the results. But the bottom line result is whether or not we can make a deal with the EU that's fair. We lose about $151 billion trading with the EU. That's a lot of money. And this has been going on for many years. They wouldn't meet with the Obama administration. And they're meeting with us. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Mr. President, should the Mueller report be released while you're abroad next week?
That'll be totally up to the new Attorney General. He's a tremendous man, a tremendous person who really respects this country and respects the Justice Department. So that'll be totally up to him. The new Attorney General. Yes. I guess from what I understand, that will be totally up to the Attorney General. Okay.
Mr. President, on your push to decriminalize homosexuality, are you doing that, and why?
Say it.
Your push to decriminalize homosexuality around the world.
I don't know which report you're talking about. We have many reports. Anybody else?
Mr. President, what do you expect from Austrian Chancellor? What do you expect from the Austrian Chancellor to do in European policy?
Well, we're just going to have a great meeting. We have a great relationship, and our countries have a great relationship. And he's a very young leader, I have to tell you. You are a young guy. That's pretty good.
But the problem with the age is getting better from day to day.
That's right. Someday you won't be saying it. But we have a very good relationship, and we have a great trade relationship, and that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about today.
Are you considering replacing Dan Coats as your Director of National Intelligence?
I haven't even thought about it.
Mr. President, you spoke to the Prime Minister of Japan today. How hard is it going to be to get North Korea to completely verifiably denuclearize?
Well, I spoke with this morning with Prime Minister Abe, had a long conversation with him. We talked about the trip next week to Vietnam, which will be, I think, very successful. I think the first trip to Singapore was extremely successful. We'll be meeting with Chairman Kim for 2 days, and I think we'll accomplish a lot. We started off with a very good meeting, and I think we'll continue that along. I don't think this will be the last meeting by any chance, but I do think that the relationship is very strong. When we started, as you know, there were a lot of problems. There was the missiles going all over. There were hostages that were being held. There were remains that we wanted to get back. There were many, many things. Now there's no nuclear testing, no missiles going up, and we have a good relationship, very good relationship, I'd say. So I spoke with Prime Minister Abe of Japan about that, and we compared notes, and I think we are very much on the same wavelength. It was a good meeting, good conversation.
They seem very reluctant, the North Koreans, to denuclearize. Do you think you'll be able to make any?
No, I don't think they're reluctant. I think they want to do something, but you've been talking about this for 80 years. They've been talking about this for many, many years, and no administration has done anything. They've gotten taken to the cleaners, and I think we have a really meaningful relationship. We'll see what happens. The sanctions are on in full. As you know, I haven't taken sanctions off. I'd love to be able to, but in order to do that, we have to do something that's meaningful on the other side. But Chairman Kim and I have a very good relationship. I wouldn't be surprised to see something work out. I really believe that as an economic power, because of its location in between, I mean, you look on a map and you see Russia, China, and right in the middle of everything is South Korea, but North Korea right smack in the middle. So you have Russia, China, and then South Korea, and this is right in the middle. Tremendous potential for economic well-being long-term, and I think he understands that very well. I think he might understand that better than anybody. So they have a great, great potential as a country, and I think that's what they're looking to do. We'll see. But we've made a lot of progress. We've made a tremendous amount. That doesn't mean this is going to be the last meeting, because I don't believe it will. But we have subjects to discuss which will be very fruitful, I believe.
Mr. President, on Andrew McCabe briefing McConnell and Paul Ryan and Devin Nunes, telling them about the investigation into you?
Well, I think Andrew McCabe has made a fool out of himself over the last couple of days, and he really looks to me like sort of a poor man's J. Edgar Hoover. I think he's a disaster. And what he was trying to do was terrible, and he was caught. I'm very proud to say we caught him. So we'll see what happens, but he is a disgraced man. He was terminated, not by me, he was terminated by others. The IG report was a disaster from his standpoint. Anybody reading the IG report would say, how could a man like this be involved with the FBI? And the FBI has some of the greatest people, some of the finest people you'll ever meet, but this man is a complete disaster. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad.
It's an honor to be here in Poland, a bastion of freedom in Central Europe. And the United States of America stands with Poland as a part of the most successful mutual defense alliance in the history of the world, and we always will.
It's an honor to join you for this first ever ministerial to promote a future of peace and security in the Middle East. We each come from different nations and cultures, but all of us are united in our mission to forge a brighter future of security and prosperity in the Middle East. It is my honor to join you for the 55th Annual Munich Security Conference. With President Trump's leadership and a clear focus on our security, our transatlantic alliance is being defended and renewed. Under President Donald Trump, the United States will seize every opportunity to achieve peace, but we will approach every challenge with our eyes wide open. We will deal with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. And when we hold fast to our faith in freedom and its eternal author, freedom always wins.
I'm Brian Hook, the U.S. representative for Iran. Today I am standing in front of a building with decades of history in the heart of Washington, D.C. Most people who drive down Massachusetts Avenue probably don't know that this building is the Iranian embassy. The U.S. State Department has been maintaining it for almost 40 years, taking care of security and landscaping. Even the Persian rugs and artwork that were once here are still preserved in temperature-controlled storage facilities to give back to the Iranian people once our diplomatic ties are restored. I wish I could say the same for the government in Tehran. The people of the United States and the people of Iran should have diplomatic ties. We should have embassies in each other's countries. It is within the power of the Iranian regime to chart a better course for its own people. It should behave less like a revolutionary cause and more like a normal country. Our hope is that the regime will choose to end its policies that threaten the United States and our partners in the Middle East. It can choose to do this or watch its economy crumble. The people of Iran will not achieve their enormous potential so long as the regime pursues its current course of oppression, economic mismanagement, environmental destruction, and violent misadventures abroad. We look forward to the day when we can return the keys of this embassy to a truly representative Iranian government that is motivated not by a hateful, antiquated, revolutionary ideology, but by the interests and the will of the great Iranian people. The people of Iran should be free to finally make their own laws with leaders chosen by them and not by a corrupt religious mafia. It has been 40 years since the regime in Tehran took over. By any metric, its track record is dismal. The United States hopes the next 40 years look radically different as you, the people of Iran, take your rightful place as a vibrant force for stability and prosperity in the Middle East and beyond.
TAG TV US Canada brings you news and views from White House and State Department's press briefings.